Hello everyone, Paprika here, and today we're diving into the world of sneakers. Moreover, this video does not completely fall within the scope of plant-based dishes, because our sneakers today will not contain any eggs, milk, or even sugar or honey, let alone marshmallows, agar, gelatin. We will start with the most challenging part of the cake using only plant-based ingredients, but don't worry, it's not too hard. It's in the context of today's video because it's a no-bake recipe. In my opinion, it's easy to make. It's much easier than baking cakes, watching them rise, spreading the cream evenly, decorating it somehow. A little spoiler, this is the tastiest one I've ever made in my life. Of course, I haven't made that many, but this one is just a bomb. I'm telling you right away, it's not for every day. And if some ingredients from this cake are not sold in your nearest stores, I'll tell you a bit later what to do with this. And we will finish with two types of bars, one of which I promise you will repeat over and over because it's prepared in just a few minutes and the result is fantastic. The ingredients in one variant are just 3 items, in the second 4, just a dream. Well, now let's start cooking. Our cake. For the cake, I will take a detachable ring, set the diameter to 18 centimeters. You can also set it to 20, considering that this form has no bottom, then we set up the foil. We put it on the bottom of the bowl and wrap our ring around it. It will be more convenient to work. Oat flakes will go to the base. I have large ones and peanut butter, either pure or with added salt. Take a quality composition into the bowl of a mixer or blender. Send all the ingredients to the base. You can take any syrup, toffee, maple, date or honey and mix until more or less homogeneous mass. For convenience of extraction of the cake, I also put acetate tape around the edge, and now you can pour the base ingredients. The mass turns out to be sticky. With wet hands, we tamp down the bottom of the cake, making it even. And we send it to the freezer for 15 minutes. The cream layer will be made of cashews. For this, soak the raw cashews for at least 4 hours or overnight. The nuts should become very soft. You will also need full-fat coconut milk. 1 hard can of 400 milliliters is exactly enough for 1 cake. And the coconut oil needs to be melted. Thanks to the spring, you can melt the oil in the sun. Send the soaked cashews, coconut milk, syrup, and melted coconut oil to the blender cup. And yes, but it's necessary here, we need to stabilize the cream. Blend until homogeneous. It will be a silky, creamy texture. Pour the prepared mixture onto the cooled base. And back into the freezer for 30 minutes. The next layer is caramel, salted caramel. In a saucepan, we heat up coconut milk, immediately add peanut butter, and simply combine both masses. And the syrup is to taste. Don't hold it for long, or the mass will quickly thicken. We remove it from the fire, and for consistency, we pass a whisk, beating the caramel. While the caramel is slightly cooling, we take out the cake and pour half of the salted peanuts onto the cream. It should already hold the shape well. We lay the peanut caramel on top and level the top layer. And on top, we sprinkle the remaining second part of the peanuts. And back into the freezer for 30 minutes while we make the next layer, the chocolate ganache. We melt any dark chocolate with the remaining coconut milk from the can and bring it to a uniform consistency in a water bath. While the ganache cools a bit, 5 minutes, we can already take out our cake. We pour the last layer onto the preparation and level the top layer. This chocolate magic always captivates me. For decoration, I sprinkle with coarse peanuts and a pinch of large sea salt, but this is already optional. And now for the final stabilization. 3 hours in the freezer and 1 hour in the refrigerator before proceeding to eat the cake. We then store it in the refrigerator, or it stays in the freezer and you thaw a piece in the refrigerator before consumption. And guys, this is such a delicacy. You will be blown away. It's not cloying. Everything is as it should be, both sweet and salty, everything in moderation. Actually, with the cake, Divine, I would even say cake, we have already figured it out with you. Let's now proceed to the simplest and very tasty bars.
This PP-Snickers will be made from 3 ingredients.
It's better to take roasted salted peanuts right away, or we roast raw peanuts ourselves and add a little salt. We will also take dark or bitter chocolate and dates for natural sweetness. If necessary, soak in boiling water for softness for 5 minutes. We will send half of the peanuts to the grinder and bring it to the state of fine crumbs. This is not flour, not paste, but fine enough. We add all the dates cleaned from the stone and bring it to a homogeneous mass with peanuts. You can grind separately. We get a fairly sticky plastic mass into which we add the second part of the peanuts. Knead it into the dough for even distribution. And we divide it into the necessary amount, make it into candies or bars. I got 6 pieces of bars. We give them shape with wet hands, and while we make the glaze, send them to the freezer. We melt dark or bitter chocolate in a water bath. And now either we dip the bars in chocolate or we smear the surface with a silicone brush, in general, as you like. I don't melt so much chocolate, so a brush is just the thing, and you can add a characteristic drawing on top. Guys, these bars are like Dima's pie. As he tried, he said, make 1,000,000 of them tomorrow, a very tasty thing. And we will finish with you with a video that was already on my channel, but new subscribers usually do not scroll to it, and it's so offensive, it's so tasty, so useful. These will be banana Snickers. Take 1 banana from which 4 bars will be made. And now we smear each piece of banana on top with peanut butter. I suggest refrigerating the paste for 10 minutes to thicken it. And then you can easily sprinkle nuts on top. Traditionally, it's salted peanuts. We're pressing it into a paste. You can also experiment and add, for example, a walnut. And why not try a hazelnut? Just remove the shell if it has one. If desired, you can season the entire filling with sea salt, but don't overdo it. Now we send it to the freezer for 30 minutes so that the whole preparation sets. In the meantime, we melt dark or bitter chocolate in a water bath. We cover the entire surface of the bars with chocolate. It sets quickly because the preparations are from the freezer. And I advise to put the bars back in the freezer for another 30 minutes. The Snickers will be like ice cream. You can crunch a bit, it's very tasty. Well, that's all from me. Guys, I really hope you liked this video and that you will definitely try at least something from this, because I recommend it from the bottom of my heart, because it's so tasty and simple. You just have to try it. I will be very, very grateful if you share this video on your social networks. You have my utmost respect, love, kisses, hugs. Well, that's all from me. It was Katya Paprika. Listen to yourself and your body. Let's eat tasty and healthy food.